Just had my first ever espresso because my voice can sound so monotone on camera sometimes, so I'm trying to make sure that the energy is up. Hey guys, long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I was obviously talking on my Instagram about how I was so keen to get into YouTube, and then I fell off the face of the earth because everything with my brand just got so hectic. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Imogen and I run London-based fashion brand Imi Studios. The last time I posted on here, I was still hand making every single piece to order, but we're now working with a small batch manufacturing facility, which has been amazing because it just frees up loads of my time and means I can focus on design, content, like YouTube specifically. And I have so many ideas for videos I want to post, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out. For my first post back, I was gonna do a video basically about how to start a brand, the do's and don'ts, mistakes that I made along the way. Also just give you guys an insight into kind of like my journey starting the brand because I didn't really take like a traditional route. I'm still absolutely gonna do a video on that because I also want to provide you guys with some like useful links, resources, websites that helped me start my brand and still help me today. But tomorrow I'm going on my first ever content trip. I'm going skiing to France. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know so much like time and effort goes into like curating my Instagram feed. So I thought it would be cool to take you guys behind the scenes, and I'm also gonna show you how I edit my pictures and how I edit my feed together. Right guys, I'm gonna go pack because I'm leaving tomorrow and I still have so much work to do, so many orders to ship out, so fingers crossed I get it all done. Hey guys, I'm at the airport and I'm through security. I have had the most hectic morning of all time. Bear in mind, I'm the kind of person who likes being at the airport like 4 hours early minimum. I get such bad departure anxiety, but this morning that wasn't even possible. I wasn't able to film anything because... Right, I'm gonna try and make this quick because there's loads of people sprinting past who are clearly late for their flight. But yeah, exactly. So I basically had to pick up a few pairs of leg warmers from my seamstress to ship out before I went on holiday. But basically she's been taking some time off recently because she had an operation on her leg, bless her, she's such a legend. Today was her first day back, but basically when I saw her today, she'd accidentally taken too many of her painkillers for her leg, and she basically like couldn't even talk. She was so drowsy. She couldn't see properly, and I felt so bad for her, bless her. So she hadn't done any of the stuff, like completely fine and understandable, I didn't mind. But it was obviously a bit of a stress because I had to be at the airport at around 3. So I basically drove from hers to my auntie's, sewed all the stuff by hand, and then went to the post office to post it. The post office was shut, drove to another post office on the way to the airport, and I managed to get here in time, thank God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing...
It's the next morning. I arrived at the apartment last night. We went out for some drinks and I hadn't eaten all day, so after 3 drinks I was a bit like drunk. I'm trying really hard not to swear in these videos, but it's literally impossible for me. Like I don't even realize I'm doing it. The last video I made, I literally thought, oh, that's so decent, like I've not sworn once, and then I was editing it and it was like there is one tiny little problem with this skiing / snowboarding content trip, and it is that there is 0 snow. There's like, oh, it's not focusing, literally none. Actually, that's a lie. If you look over there, just there is a tiny patch of snow. And honestly, if like worst case scenario, if we don't end up getting up to like one of the other resorts, I'm just gonna have to take content on that like fucking meter squared piece of snow. My other vision for this trip was to get a picture like this one of Kendall Jenner. I just love this picture, it's so iconic, everyone's seen it, everyone knows it, and I feel like it would do really, really well on my Insta if I could recreate that, but with like the pink hat, the pink bikini, the pink leg warmers. So I want to do that, but again, hardly any snow. I'm also gonna have to get my sister to take it of me, and she hates taking photos of me. I feel like a lot of people who do content or like influencing or whatever can probably relate. Your family members get so pissed off. I try to not even ask them anymore because I don't actually even like being in the pictures. I way prefer being behind the camera and directing, but I couldn't afford to fly a model out with me. So yeah, we'll see how that goes and I'll keep you guys updated.
So what we're going to do is just walk up to the location.
So we're just finding our spot. This is probably the perfect spot for the picture because there's actually snow there. No, basically we're going up here and I'm already cringing because I'm gonna have to get in my bikini. Okay, right, are you ready?
I'm going.
God, I need to fart.
Fast quickly.
Cut that.
Can you make sure she's dressed properly?
What I'll do is I'll have a wee look.
Have a wee look.
Just to make sure you're not a Victoria's Secret model. Okay, I've decided to also get some content in this lift because I think it could look really cool if I'm like bent down like that. I'm kind of envisioning something like this. Maybe that, so you can really see the leg warmer like front and center. Hello, I'm back from our trip. Had such a good time. We were so lucky. It actually snowed the day before our last day. So we had fresh powder on the last day. It was unreal. Apologies for the slightly limited footage that I got of the shoot. Not gonna lie, my nipple may have been hanging out in most of the footage I got, so I had to cut that. Also, it was, I'd say, a humbling experience because there were a group of 17-year-old boys pointing and laughing while we got this content. The difference between what you see on Insta versus what is actually going on in real life is seriously hilarious because we were standing on like a 10-meter squared patch of snow with a bunch of kids pointing and laughing at us while my nipples hanging out with my mom and my sister, and the photos turned out unreal. So this is my favorite image we got, and this is how I've edited it. I didn't dislike the trees. I considered keeping them in, but because the sky was so white, I just thought having like an all white background would really, really make the pieces stand out, and I think it's the right choice. Like, that is just so eye-catching. I'm gonna insert the before and after here just so you can see it more clearly. And all the other content we got needed very limited editing, so I'm just gonna insert the edits here. Now, before I round off this video, I'm gonna quickly show you guys how I've planned my Instagram feed for the next few weeks using these images. I plan my feed meticulously, to say the least, and my biggest piece of advice when it comes to Instagram feed planning would be to ditch all of those Insta plan apps on your phone. I have gone through like every app under the sun, and it's actually so much easier to use a Pages document or a Word document on your computer. You just have so much more freedom. So this is my current feed plan. You can see I've inserted the new content that we got on the trip. Planning your feed is kind of like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. I always keep like spare images at the side, and then once I find a place for them, I insert them into the feed plan. Feed planning is all about balance, and you'll see that recently I've introduced touches of blue into my Instagram feed. So the goal is for the images with blue in them to be evenly spaced around the grid. Poses and angles are also really, really important if you want to achieve that balanced feed. You don't want like 3 close-up portraits of somebody all in a row. You want to distribute those kind of pictures evenly. I'm just going to use this as a quick example. I wouldn't post these 3 images consecutively because the pose and angle are so similar. You want to like distribute like portraits, full body images. You basically want to do it all as evenly as possible so that your feed looks super, super balanced. I could talk about feed planning for hours because I'm an absolute loser and it's my favorite thing to do. But I'm just gonna leave it there for now. If you want me to go into more depth, drop a comment below or drop me a DM. I'm also gonna do a video about how I started my brand. If you have any questions that you want me to answer in that video, again, drop them below or drop me a DM on Instagram at Imi3_studios. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're an absolute legend. It feels so nice to actually be back behind the camera, and I just can't wait to share more content with you guys soon.